Hello, welcome to welcome to our channel. We appreciate each and every one of you. You're here to learn the truth in a short amount of time. What the news media will spend a week to tell you, we'll tell you in 20 minutes. Welcome. Your time is important to you, so we're not going to keep you waiting for the news. The U.S. economy has been crashing for almost 65 years, since the day the United Nations said they're going to destroy America in 1964. Our economy's been crashing. Actually, started to crash when Kennedy took office because he started to suck America dry. Anyway, on to the news. As the economy continues to go down, as our buying power continues to go down, gold keeps going up and up and up. I think it's bouncing around 3,400. The LBMA is keeping it suppressed so the banks can continue to buy gold and silver. Now, a lot of what they're doing, they're buying the gold and silver for the super duper top secret space program. But that doesn't matter. They're still keeping it suppressed. When the true value of gold and silver occur, when the new electricity comes out with cell phones that don't need to be recharged and batteries that never run out, when that technology hits, silver is going to go through the roof. But right now, gold is where it's at. And I know silver's making a run, platinum's making a run. I don't know about palladium. I don't know anything about it. You're going to have to call Noble Gold at 877-646-5347 and ask them about it. And as the 401k rules change, doesn't it make sense to have your money in something that's stable, where you feel safe at night? Yeah, gold and silver. Anyway, on to the news. That's what we do. On to the news. October 17th, Microsoft will kill Windows 10. Like your cell phone, after 3 years they update it and your cell phone becomes worthless, so you have to buy a new one. Well, they're going to start updating Windows 10, update mandatory. You'll have your computer on, poof, it'll start blinking and flashing, and then they're going to Windows 11. You buy a product, but you don't really buy it, you only rent it. Just like a cell phone. You buy it, but you're only renting it because they still own it, because they still update it. So they own this. You don't own it. You don't own your computer. Because they still update it without your permission, don't they? Well, that means they own it and they control it. So anyway, Trump has eliminated 274,000. He made an announcement. He's taken 274,000 illegals off of Social Security, and he's eliminated 12.5 million people over the age of 125. They're not going to get Social Security. So as he eliminates 13 million people from Social Security, the other 15 million on Social Security retirement will not see an increase but 1 or 2%. So where's the money going? And would he eliminate the 120 million people collecting $10,000 a month from you and I? Not yet. We'll see what happens. Once he does that, half the world's economy is going to collapse. I mean, we're talking, whatever the administrative costs, 20,000 a month plus, times 120 million. That's a lot of money going out of this country every month, because half of them live overseas. And so as the U.S. begins to pull in the funding of other nations and other things they're not supposed to, all these windmill farms are collapsing because they're not getting government money. No more money for the Democrats, the Democrats, the demons that rule, Republicrats, the people that rule. Republican means people rule. Democracy means demons rule. So you vote for demon? Okay, that's fine. But now your money's getting cut off. And the German economy, now that the Marshall Plan was ended by Trump, then it was reinitiated by the Biden double, now it was stopped by Trump again. It's this ongoing destroy America. Clinton gave Europe the Marshall Plan, billions every year. Bush stopped it. Obama gave him billions every year. Trump stopped it. Biden gave him billions every year. Trump stopped it again. So now that Europe's not getting any more money, their economy's collapsing. They're shrinking. Their industries are shutting down. They're moving 20 million African Muslims into Germany, and they're killing 100 Germans a day. Akbar Allah. Muslim isn't a religion of peace. Allah is the God of war. That's what Muhammad said. Anyway, and totally suppressed by the media absolutely controlled by the CIA, Zig Heil. There is flooding in Charlottesville all the way down to Myrtle Beach. Flash flooding as NASA brings another hurricane into the area, which hasn't hit yet, but they're creating flash flooding all across Virginia. Not in the news, complete media blackout as NASA kills and destroys more of America. Kills Americans. President Trump has chosen not to arrest them. Anyway, thank you, NASA, for your absolute murdering of Americans. And Umpqua Bank was purchased by Columbia Bank. You go down 72nd Street till you hit a graveyard. Across the street on the left is their super duper top secret hidden headquarters run by the FBI. They pulled $5 billion out of thin air, the FBI did, on their magic computers. Columbia Bank bought Umpqua Bank, renamed all its banks Umpqua, got caught with their pants down, and now Umpqua Bank has to rename everything back to Columbia Bank. But they went from a AAA rating to a BB minus, barely investment grade. Thank you, FBI. So we'll see how that pans out. And in a bizarre story, which is totally made up, C.K. Hutchison, here's the Panama Canal goes east to west. There's a port on either side of it. Both of those are owned by C.K. Hutchison out of Hong Kong. Well, C.K. Hutchison is trying to sell to BlackRock, except BlackRock already owns C.L. Hutchison. So BlackRock announced for 22.8 billion they will buy C.K. Hutchison and all its ports, 23 ports. Well, they already own C.K. Hutchison, BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard. The CIA already owns C.K. Hutchison. So how can they buy C.K. Hutchisons if they already own C.K. Hutchisons? Total, fake, politically motivated story on Zero Hedge, and they fell for it. They try to vet their stories. They try the best they can, but about a third of them are fake. I'm finding that all across the net. Gateway Pundit, any story about Congress, it's been dissolved. So Gateway Pundit is about, I'd say about 40% fake stories. They try their best. They try to stay mainstream and tell the truth. They're doing a great job. But there is no Congress or Supreme Court. They need to tell the truth. But if they did, nobody'd listen to it. It's like the NIV Association. I asked them why they lied about different parts of the Bible. They said if we told the truth, nobody'd buy our Bible. Go figure. Anyway, electricity inflation, the next big story. Biden promised to triple your rates. Guess what? It's happening. Right now, China is the only country that's building real power plants. We're not going to get water-powered cars. We're not going to get water-powered generators. We're not going to get static electricity generators. That's off the table. We're going to kill the earth with oil and coal. That's on the table. And we're going to keep increasing the mileage standards so we go from 50 to 40 to 30 to 20 miles to 10 miles to the gallon. That's an increased efficiency, Zig Heil, according to Lucifer and the United States government. So, sorry, this is another CIA call. Let me turn my phone off. I thought I had it off. Thank you, CIA, for shutting my phone down. 5 to 6 calls a day from the CIA. It's like you answer it, and then you get some AI. That's CIA. Anyway, don't answer it. Don't fall for it. So this is the cost of electricity wholesale in the nation. This is when Biden took office. He's made it go from, well, he's tripled the cost of wholesale energy. Everything was going along fine, and then Biden took office, boom. His dream of destroying America is going on, but it wasn't Biden, because Biden died. So who did it? Well, I'll tell you who did it. It was done by the demons, the Democrats. 20, 25-year-old, 30-year-old kids in the White House. Only the White House was abandoned, so they're working out of Fort McPherson, Atlanta, Georgia. They do what they're told to by the CIA, which is run by the King of England, which answers to Lucifer incarnate, the Pope. By the way, the Catholic Church is falling apart. They're not bringing in any money. And our economy has been, Intercept DARPA. They've created a vaccine that if you give to me and I walk outside, anybody within a couple hundred feet gets the same vaccination. It spreads from person to person. DARPA is now going to start giving the shots to people in hospitals. They're already spraying RNA on our food, which changes our DNA. So RFK says, no more vaccinations with RNA. The day they announced they're spraying the vegetables with RNA. He still hasn't eliminated the fluoride from our water. So we're too stupid to know what's going on. Go RFK. Just another walking, talking Kennedy, a demon. He talks really good for politics, but in reality, he ain't doing squat. Oh, Kellogg's is going to remove artificial dyes. Big frickin' deal. How about removing the titanium from cereals? Titanium's not toxic, is it? Right. Anyway, so DARPA has come up with a new program, and they're now vaccinating without the approval of the FDA, without the approval of anybody. They're now vaccinating people with a spreadable vaccine. All they have to do is vaccinate one person, and it'll spread like wildfire. Within 2 weeks, it'll be around the world. And they can do another vaccine and another vaccine and another vaccine. They can do one a day on these dying people. Do one in Atlanta, Georgia. Do one in Seattle, Washington. Do one in Bangor, Maine. Nobody's going to know the difference. They just contaminate one of those bags hanging down into your arm, which you can't get rid of when you're in the hospital. Try to get that thing off you when you're in the hospital. It's called control. Anyway, so the Intercept program by DARPA, the biological weapons program, has now been initiated. So we will be given all kinds of things that we never asked for, that weren't approved by any government agency. It's just DARPA got our money and created this with our money and is now polluting our DNA. It's just what is. And our economy has been tanking since 1960. How to get out of your parents' basement? That's a good question. This is home ownership among those who are 30 years old and more. Or 30-year-olds. This is 1960. When the United Nations, through the Lucifer Trust, announced the destruction of America and appointed Kennedy as the president to start sucking America dry. And here's what happened to home ownership since Kennedy took over. He wasn't a hero. He was a libtard of libtards. His wife had an Adam's apple. Go figure. She wasn't a man, or she wasn't a girl. Here's 1964, when the Lucifer Trust said they initiated things from the center of the UN building about 8 or 10 years ago, I was listening to them. They said in 1964, they initiated protocols to destroy the planet. Home ownership has been going down ever since. And in 1990, Reagan left office. Home ownership among 30-year-olds was 45%. It went. Bush, Clinton, Bush, Obama, Trump, who knows Biden, 18 doubles, who knows. And since a friend of mine walked by Obama at the White House, there were 3 Obamas in there, so who knows who the heck was running the White House. And now, Trump. It's fallen to less than 5%. Nobody can afford a home. So President Trump, rather than asking God what to do, rather than saying, God, how do we get people out of their parents' basements? Half the people 30 years old and more are still living in their parents' basements. I know many of them. They make money. They make good money. But they're sucking off the parents, and the parents don't say, get out. Many of them are high on drugs, and the parents don't say, get out. Why do you think America's going downhill? We're not listening to God. So, the U.S. Department of Labor has come up with apprenticeship programs. You can finish your college degree, and it's about as worthless as teats on a warthog, especially if you're a white male. And you can go through an apprenticeship program. If you're white, you have to pay for it. If you're not white, or if you're gay, it's fully paid for. But the apprenticeship program starts at $80,000 a year. Welders, car mechanics, things like that. So under the Department of Labor, the apprenticeship program has begun under Trump, which is one of the most genius plans ever. Why private industry doesn't pay for it. But the apprenticeship program means that if you're seeking a career where you work with your hands, there it is. President Trump has laid it out. The colleges have become absolutely worthless. You hire somebody with a degree in political science and social engineering with an emphasis on minority violence. What the friggin' is that? Or art history with an emphasis on minority art programs. Excuse me? What about What about engineering? What about forestry? What about hard careers that require a lot of hard learning? They don't exist anymore in America. They're gone. The Department of Education needs to disappear. College loans to those colleges need to disappear. Trump's getting that done. God bless. Thank you very much. We appreciate each and every one of you. We'll see where Trump goes. God has pulled back from him, but we'll see where things go. God bless. Thank you very much, and we'll see you tomorrow.